this. We're diving into the grand finals of the Korean Starcraft League week number 22, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Mystery Gaming. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran representing himself, the ESL Master Summer runner-up. It is GuMiho. Oh, let's go. As we are setting out 2 SCVs immediately. Not just 2, we have a 3rd SCV as well. GuMiho going for a proxy, 3 racks, no gases. So this time we're not going for any kind of weird future variation with Reapers. This is going to be with Marines instead. Here we go. Back at home, RagnaroK going for a hatch gas pool opener. Very economic. This is going to be ideal for GuMiho, and we'll see how he execute this. We'll see how RagnaroK responds and reacts as well. As the Overlord is not going to see this at all. We can see the second Overlord of RagnaroK just going to be going over towards the left-hand side, is looking for the proxy. Now this is dangerous. This Overlord is on a mission. It's being sent out far into the map, which means when the SCVs show up to throw down bunkers, there's no Overlord. Typically, the Zerg player checks close by and then rallies back with the Overlord to see the bunker, but that won't be possible. RagnaroK, his Overlord, is out of position, and eventually it will come across the proxy, sure, but the bunker's already being thrown down, and RagnaroK cannot react in time. Now this has been revealed. RagnaroK, he thought about attacking for a moment. There we go, we have a spine crawler on the way out. We have our gases on the way here. Because it's 3 racks, because there are 3 SCVs, we should be going for a Roach Warren, and there we go, Roach Warren's on the way. Second gas geyser as well. RagnaroK should be giving up on his natural base. We can see RagnaroK trying to trade out with the Marines, but alas, he loses 2 links for free. Hatchery is in danger. The Queen is in danger as well. Bold move here by RagnaroK, trying to produce it, trying to escape with it. Gets 1 Marine, is going to buy some time, but the Queen will go down. Oh, that creates an opening though. The Lings, they do slip out. Lings are going across the map. Oh no, this is going to supply block RagnaroK. The Overlord has been found out, and it will go down. The supply block is real, and when making roaches, we can't afford supply blocks. The hatchery does go down, and RagnaroK is pretty committed with this. Unfortunately, he can't make any Ravagers at the moment, only roaches. GuMiho should be transitioning back at home. Actually, no, he's getting his add-ons in the center of the map. Oh my god. This is wild. He's proxying Marauders. I have not seen this before. I've not seen this follow-up before. Okay, GuMiho, you have my attention. Marauders are on the way. Bunker is going to go down. No salvage. That's a kill. Not a salvage on that bunker. Meanwhile, GuMiho, he's going to be waiting here at the top of this ramp. Waiting for his opponent to overextend, and RagnaroK has to be very careful. As he does, actually, he's going to be checking here with a Roach. Wise move. Loses a Roach instead of a Ravager. GuMiho pushing on forward. And the target firing is pretty good as well. With the concussive shell, Ravagers are falling left and right. Only 2 Ravagers remain, and GuMiho is not going to allow this expansion to get up and running. You can see RagnaroK trying to catch some reinforcements. He's coming in from behind. It looks like one of those Marauders may go down. But we did catch both Ravagers, and that may just be it. What does RagnaroK have left? He has 3 Roaches on the way, a couple of Lings, but 0 Ravagers. GuMiho with the follow-up. He is transitioning back at home. He has a factory and a starport, but honestly, he may just not need it. He can end the game with this push. Takes down that last queen. We have one more coming down from the main base. It looks like RagnaroK, he wants to hold on to this hatchery, but it's not going to happen. We even scan just for high ground vision. The queen's going to escape anyway. You can see GuMiho just getting into position here, reducing surface area, heading towards that mineral line, getting as much as he can out of this army, focusing down the roaches. The reason for this is that he doesn't want RagnaroK to fight with his broodlings. So he cleans up the lings and the roaches, and now that they're cleaned up, now we can kill the hatchery. You can see he's trying to save his marauders from the broodlings. We'll lose one of them. We'll lose everything. But that was such an efficient trade. God, look at this. 10 roaches, 2 ravagers, 2 queens, 12 lings. For a handful of bio units. Oh. Back at home, GuMiho is expanding. He's transitioning. He's got a Banshee. Cloak on the way. Goes for the scan to make sure there's no like fast lair for any kind of 2-base Muta shenanigans. GG gets called, and GuMiho takes game number 1 in a commanding fashion. GG. Oh my god. With a variation of proxy 3 racks that I've never seen before. Obviously the initial bunker and the killing of the natural is standard, but the follow-up to go for concussive shell marauders is so committed from GuMiho. But like he set the trap, he was able to dive on top of the roaches and ravagers that were exposed because RagnaroK was getting ready for a counterattack, and completely pulled RagnaroK apart. GG. GG, well played. A strong start here from GuMiho. The other added advantage here for GuMiho is that was on Ancient Cistern. An Ancient Cistern in the mid to late game is more Zerg favored, or is harder for the Terrans to deal with, especially if they're going for an active style, just because of how open the center of the map is and how many bases there are to take and all that stuff. So for RagnaroK to take a loss here on Ancient is devastating, especially with our next game coming up. We are loading in to Gresvan. Gresvan, known as the map that leads into the split map scenarios more often than not, can really favor a turtling Terran player if we go for that style. We'll see. As we are diving into this and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have the South Korean Zerg player. I need to fix the names. There we go. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Mystery Gaming. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have another SCV. In the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing himself, the ESL Master Summer runner-up. It is GuMiho. So it is a proxy Rax. Oh, it's going to be a proxy Reaper coming out from GuMiho. Only a single Rax, so very uncommitted. Obviously the first Reaper is going to get here faster, and because of that it can maybe get a couple of drones, but this isn't designed to end the game. It is designed to just give GuMiho a bit of a lead coming into Gresvan. Meanwhile, RagnaroK is pushing out with his Overlord, and he is going to come across this proxy. RagnaroK will see this ahead of time, as he's going for a hatch gas pool opener, very economic. Hopefully RagnaroK doesn't overreact, that's it, to this, as he confirms that there's only a single Rax. He should be going a little bit further. Yep, there we go. Just to make sure that there's no hidden like second and third Rax, especially around these steam vents. And RagnaroK will have confirmation. Meanwhile, in the mineral line, GuMiho has a bunker on the way, but I don't really see this finishing. Is just going to disrupt mining here for a little bit. We can see GuMiho diving back in. Meanwhile, spawning pool is done. Queen and Lings are on the way. GuMiho already has that factory back at home. And again, we'll see if GuMiho can get any drones. So far, he's doing quite a lot of damage to a lot of these drones. And oh, he does get one! Almost gets a second as well. One drone is already a good amount of damage for GuMiho. Gets into the mineral line. The bunker is done as well. This will delay so much mining here at the natural. RagnaroK, he's trying to get across the map. Second Reaper is coming out. Oh boy. And the Reaper will make it into said bunker. RagnaroK isn't droning, by the way. He is making nothing but lings. He's going to collapse on this bunker. He's going to be able to clean this up. Okay, he's droning. Thankfully, he is droning behind this as GuMiho dives back into the main base. There is no queen in position. Can he get another drone? Nah. Thankfully, RagnaroK won't lose another worker. Shouldn't lose another worker. God, as GuMiho does manage to avoid those lings, he's once again wreaking havoc in the mineral line. The Reaper will escape. Ling speed is about to kick in, and once it does, GuMiho is going to get cleaned up. Behind this, it was a 1-1-1. Oh, this is actually very committed. This is looking like the beginning of a one base all in. It looks like GuMiho, okay, he's expanding, but this is a very late expansion. It's one base BC. Oh my god. The Viking arrives. Can the Viking deny the scout? GuMiho, he's crazy. Overlord is gonna go down. It does spot this. It does spot the tech lab, so that should be a sign of at least banshees. So RagnaroK should be getting ready with spores momentarily. That is a piece of the puzzle. Can he correctly read that it's gonna be BCs? I mean, GuMiho, he does like his battle cruisers. He does like them. He loves them, but oh boy, first one is on the way. Thankfully, this isn't 2-port BC. We have seen that before from GuMiho. Only one, Papi, only one. I mean, battlecruisers, they're good units. GuMiho, he knows. Does know as Reaper does go down. RagnaroK just trying to saturate his bases because GuMiho's natural is so delayed. Like, this is... I should put emphasis on this, but this natural base is just so late here for GuMiho. It does put a lot of pressure on this battle cruiser to do damage. It needs to get damage done. Otherwise, again, we can see GuMiho falling further and further behind in the drone count. We can see GuMiho going for some dropped Viking harass. Up! Up! Oh my god, as the Viking goes down, only getting 2 drones. Good positioning out of RagnaroK. GuMiho overextending a little bit. Yamato is on the way. First BC immediately teleports across the map. Spores are about to finish. Again, the tech lab was scattered earlier, so RagnaroK was at least getting ready for banshees. As the BC dives on in. How many queens do we have? We have 8 queens. Pretty good queen count. We're in position at the third base as well. GuMiho taking a lot of hits. Miss rallying. He wasn't looking. Up. Oh my god. As the battlecruiser survives with barely any HP. 4 drones isn't bad. It's okay, but I'm sure GuMiho was hoping for more damage. I'm sure he was hoping for the queen count to be a little bit lower. Are we feeling mech? Third CC is on the way. Tanks in production. We are making Marines. We are making the Bio Army. But BC into mech is... Oh, sorry. Mech after a BC opener is very common. It's a very common transition. The last time we saw GuMiho go 2-port BC, though, he did go into 3 Raxes. So he has shown us that he is willing to mix it up. And play with norms. As the second battlecruiser has teleported across the map as well. Drones are being focused down. Queens are being transfused. We do have Yamato. Does focus down the high energy queen. And this base may be cancelled. So he's taking a lot of hits. The queens are coming in. Yeah, double E base, so it is going to be a buy follow-up. It it is going to be Marines from GuMiho. Meanwhile, we do force a cancel. We almost get a kill on the drone. Can we get another cancel? Uh-oh. Dude. Getting really nice damage here from GuMiho. There are those additional Raxes. And GuMiho is not stopping BC production. He does make a third battle cruiser. Meanwhile, really bold move out of RagnaroK. He's going for Aspire, but not for Corruptors. He's going Mutas. Mutas are on the way. They aren't the best units against battle cruisers, but they, in high enough numbers, they can deal with them. I'm pretty sure that RagnaroK, because he hasn't scattered. He hasn't seen the follow-up. I'm sure he's hoping that it's mech.
Taking damage. Terrible, terrible damage.
RagnaroK does use Diva. But I'm sure he's hoping that it's mech, and Mutas would be ideal against that. Against Bio, they can do quite well as long as they're able to avoid the Marines. God, that's a lot of Queens. As the Mutas have been spotted, turrets are on the way. Mutas will go down. They're looking for a way, and they're looking for a stray tank if possible. They will find one. The Marines, they don't have stim. They're going down one after the other. These Mutas are getting out of control. Can they get a second tank? It looks like they will. 2 tanks and a good chunk of Marines. Meanwhile, that battlecruiser across the map, still wreaking some havoc, is going to get another queen before it's forced to teleport. Mutas are coming back home to deal with it. As we should teleport soon. So BC does teleport back home. Does teleport back home. We do have 2 more factories on the way. Jesus. Getting into 3 factory production, 4th base as well. Winter mines. Really, GuMiho, he's just turtling up here on 3 bases. God, he's having fun. As GuMiho, he's just focusing on as many of these Mutas as he can. He doesn't even have to teleport away. This is what I meant. This is what I meant earlier. Like Mutas on, like in low numbers, they can get the BC up. They get 1. Very nice pick off there from RagnaroK. Did punish GuMiho for not getting on that repair. Not a bad trade for RagnaroK. That was what, 5 Mutas and 2 Corruptors for 1 BC. It's could have been worse. Could have been 0 BCs. As RagnaroK is taking control of his side of the map. 5th base up and running. 6th base on the way. Hive as well. We've got a couple of Corruptors in production as well to help deal with those battle cruisers. And GuMiho is working on his first push, but there's so much Lingbane waiting for him. I don't really think we can move out. It's not going to be possible. GuMiho, he has to turtle up here. There we go. Sensor towers are on the way. GuMiho is accepting his fate. He's stuck in his corner of the map for the foreseeable future. The next like 10 or so minutes. Now, RagnaroK is the first to max out, so once he gets enough banelings, he can just like crash into these bases and try to contain GuMiho to 3 CCs. It's not going to be efficient, it's not going to be pretty, but could go for it. As Adrenal is on the way, Hive is done. Do we have any Vipers? No, no Vipers. As the battle cruisers do reveal themselves, Corruptors are on the way to deal with them. And here we go. I think we have hit that baneling count that we're looking for. Oh, the BCs. Oh, they do teleport just in time. Meanwhile, here we go. Lingbane does roll on forward. And we'll clean up this Marine army. And we can keep on going. We can keep on pushing. Sure, there's a planetary, but it's not going to be enough. Good tank shots are going off, but the planetary is going to fall. And RagnaroK, he can just do that again. That's going to be the goal here for our Zerg player. RagnaroK has so much freedom, such a strong economy. GuMiho also has 90 workers, by the way, but he's oversaturated. Like, he needs bases. He needs to take some of these bases here to actually make use of his worker count to be able to max out. There we go. You can see GuMiho getting ready to double expand. Oh, missed rally on those tanks. Uh-oh. He didn't want to throw them away. He's going to have to replace them. Here we go. The Ling Bane rolling in once again. The tank's not in position to support, which means the Banelings are going to roll into the base. Oof. We had 90 workers. We save what we can. 8 SCVs go down. Hot pickup from GuMiho does save the majority of his workers, but GG gets called, and RagnaroK takes game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. GG. GuMiho just being a little bit experimental with his opener, going into that BC. But alas, the BCs didn't really get the economic damage that they were looking for. RagnaroK was ready, he was in position, he had his spores, he had his queens. Did minimize his losses, and we saw RagnaroK's economy get out of control. And we have a series. We have a series. We are going all the way to game 3. As a reminder, this is the best of 5, so still plenty more games to come, but at least it's not one-sided. At least it's not a 3-0 in either direction. I wouldn't have wanted that. Let's go. What tournament are we watching? The Korean Starcraft League. KSL. KSL. This is a weekly Korean tournament. Every single week, every single Saturday, or Friday, depending on where you are in the world. We do host this event. I say we. Dave, Tesla, and Chicken Man host this event. And thankfully, they do leave it open for community casters like ourselves to also jump in and provide our commentary as we are getting into game number 3 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Mystery Gaming. Going for a 15 pool, it is RagnaroK. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, once again sending his first SCV across the map very early on, we have the South Korean Terran. It is GuMiho. Oh my god. So he is setting up here for a Beyond opener with a Rax on the low ground, but it looks like he's going to have 1 Rax across the map and 1 Rax back at home. Okay. So if you weren't here earlier, game 1, GuMiho went for a proxy 3 Rax. Game 2, he went for a singular proxy Rax. And game 3, it's going to be 1 proxied and 1 back at home. Eventually, we're going to get to the point in this series where all the Raxes will be at home. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So this is a much more aggressive variation of the Beyond opener, and this does make a lot of sense. The reason why it makes sense on Royal Blood is because the entryway to the natural is very narrow on Royal Blood, so it doesn't take too much to wall it off. So you can get away with this singer, as we can see. Depot is thrown down. We have a full wall off with only a single Rax. Second one is across the map, and it is spotted by RagnaroK. He does see it ahead of time. Now, this looks like game 2. This looks like the previous game. If you remember, in game 2, GuMiho only had 1 Rax across the map, and that is what's going to be spotted here. Little does RagnaroK know that there's a second one, which means additional Reapers are going to show up. Boys are being pulled. The bunker is going to be slowed down. Lings and Queens are already on the way. Remember, it was a 15 pool opener. Was it 15 hatch? I think it was 15 hatch from RagnaroK. Lings are already here. They've already arrived. Plenty of Lings at that. And this Reaper has to be very careful with how he does handle this. Here we go. 2 Lings go down. The bunker is forfeit, is going to be cancelled. And RagnaroK has map control for the time being. But we have that 3rd Reaper in production. And we'll see if GuMiho can get any damage done. As he does kind of consolidate his army, he's got his 3 Reapers. Back at home, he's transitioning, he's expanding, getting more Raxes. Oh, and he's looking for drone kills. He's not gonna find any. Not yet. Across the map, Lynx try to go for a counterattack. Ooh, was that a kill on the add-on? As the Reapers dive into the main base, getting eyes on the gases, making sure there's no fast Roach Warren. There we go. That was a kill on the reactor. So very nice counter damage there from RagnaroK. Back at home, we're going for a 3rd CC before Starport, even before the first natural is even done. So GuMiho just trying to get into the economy here. His opener didn't really do what he wanted it to. We can see that the Reapers... actually, wait, do we not have Game Heart? 4 drones went down. We may not have Game Heart, so yeah, 4 drones, not too bad. Pretty good actually from GuMiho. Very good damage here so far. The Reapers do survive. And RagnaroK back at home, he's just trying to get up and running. A very fast second gas geyser. This is really peculiar. Oh, okay. As we're getting into our second gas, we're throwing down a Baleen Nest. Is this for a Bane bust? It looks like it is. And GuMiho is very vulnerable to that. So, because of the opener here, GuMiho doesn't have a tank, he doesn't have a Widowmine, he doesn't have any factory-based units, not even any Hellions. Because of that, a Bane bust is actually really deadly here for GuMiho. And RagnaroK is moving out across the map. Baneling Nest about to finish up. Because of his second gas geyser, he has plenty of gas to work with to morph in those Banelings. So he's just going to be testing the waters here. The Banshee is out there. The Banshee does spot all these things, so it looks like we're not going to commit to any kind of aggression. Lair is on the way. GuMiho is going to be safe back at home. Wings to face back. So it looks like this Baneling Nest was just for safety. I do think that a Bane bust could have worked. Again, we have vanilla Marines to defend. That's it. The tank is not even halfway done. If RagnaroK committed, he could have found some damage here. But alas, he's going to back off, he's going to drone, he's going to go for a macro game instead. And that is going to give the opportunity here for GuMiho to get back into this. I picked up some Lings earlier, picked up the Tumor. Lair's on the way. This should be for Baneling speed, for 1-1, for all of our upgrades. Oh, and this is a pretty big catch as well. There are no medevacs. The Marines are going to go down. Oh, we didn't even need Banelings. Lings, they catch all the Marines. They can do it again as well, but thankfully this time medevacs have arrived. So GuMiho will hold on to his 3rd base, but my god. 13 Marines just went down. That will slow down this push. And GuMiho will have to think better of it. And this gives the opening here for RagnaroK to take his fourth, to expand, take more gases, saturate his bases. I do think that something like an infestation put would be a little bit too greedy, but for the most part, everything here is looking good. And, ooh, he does throw down a Hydra Den. Okay, so Lingbane Hydra is going to be the composition of choice for RagnaroK. Tanks getting in some pretty good positions. Wedging themselves behind that mineral line, but oh! Almost get caught out. I'm loving this tank positioning again from GuMiho. Just really anchoring himself. Throwing up a lot of that creep. Forcing RagnaroK back once again. And yeah, GuMiho, he's going to try and test the multitasking here of RagnaroK with some multi-prong aggression. Speaking of a couple of overlords here and there, he hasn't really overcommitted into creep quite yet. So GuMiho has been very careful with his pushes. But because of that, RagnaroK, he has been able to drone up quite well. His economy has been left untouched. Oh, he is supply blocked though. 5 overlords on the way. GuMiho just trying to keep RagnaroK busy. He does work on his push. How many tanks is that? 5 tanks. Oh my god. 5 tanks on the way. A lot of this creep is receding. And RagnaroK has had a really hard time respreading his creep and just maintaining control of the center of the map. The tanks are getting in position, leapfrogging forward. Queens are going down. RagnaroK, he has to be careful here. He doesn't really have as many banelings as he maybe would like. More reinforcements coming across the map. Before they can arrive though, RagnaroK, he does dive on top of some of these Marines. Does clean them up. But GuMiho may be snowballing out of control. I just realized he is 8 raxing behind this, so there's no 4th base. This is a 3 base all-in from GuMiho. On Royal Blood, this is quite common. And RagnaroK trying to take into Hydras that may have just killed him. Yeah, you can see the tank positioning here. The spread is looking so good. Very little creep for RagnaroK. Up. A little bit of miscontrol from GuMiho. He did walk into those banelings. Oh, and it looks like GuMiho's running out of steam, but we have reinforcements trickling in. It looks like GuMiho will not be slowed down. He will not be stopped. Slowly, this push snowballed out of control. And RagnaroK doesn't have any banelings. He has 0 banelings left. And maybe a little bit too greedy, maybe just not recognizing what GuMiho was up to. It looks like he's getting on... Nah, it doesn't get on top of the tanks. GG gets called. And GuMiho takes a lead in the series 2-1. GG. Oh. Let us go. GuMiho 1 game away from taking the entire tournament. Again, that last game was an 8 racks from GuMiho. Specifically Royal Blood, especially once you take down those rocks on the right hand side. Like, it's just so 8 racks are so powerful on that map, especially if you take control of the center portion, which is what GuMiho was doing. He was just making sure that creep was never really spread out for RagnaroK. And taking up into Hydras was a greedy move from RagnaroK as well. Typically, pure Ling Bane is what you want to be working with. It's your priority for defending against an 8 racks. Looks like RagnaroK was just getting ready for a later game. Hydras didn't really get to pay for themselves. They didn't really impact that defense. GG, and with that, GuMiho needs one more game. RagnaroK needs to win this here and now to force the ace match. Oh boy. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, sorry, the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Mystery Gaming. Down in this series, he needs to win this game to bring it to the ace match. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran. One game away from becoming this week's champion. It is GuMiho. Oh, we're never gonna have the Raxes at home, are we? I said last game, like, at some point this series, we're gonna have all the Raxes back at home. No, no, never. This is gonna be a very fast scout, though. The Overlord does move out from RagnaroK. He does see the Raxes ahead of time. And this is Proxy Reaper. There's a gas. RagnaroK is going pool first. 2-Rax Reaper from GuMiho? He's crazy. This is what Honmono was trying to do, if you remember. Honmono attempted to do this earlier today against RagnaroK. The boys are being pulled because of the early scouts. GuMiho, can he even finish these Raxes? It looks like one SCV is being denied, but it looks like the first Rax should finish. Yeah, the RNG is looking good there. The Rax does complete. The second one, though, not so much. There we go. So GuMiho has to change his plans. He has to divert his attention. So a good start for RagnaroK. The Reaper is still on the way, though. So RagnaroK has to be careful. He has to make sure he doesn't take too many losses here to this Reaper. Just flew to San Francisco from Frankfurt. Oh, nice, nice. Hope you enjoy your time in the land of the Americas. Hope you enjoy. I've never been, but hope you eat some good food and enjoy yourself. As the Reaper does arrive, Lings are here in position to buy some time. The Queen comes out as well, so the main base story should be safe and sound. Meanwhile, we are making Marines from across the map, but they're waddling back home. They're on their way. You love to see it. And GuMiho is going... Is this going to be BCs again? He's going for a 1-1-1 follow-up. We saw this earlier in the broadcast. GuMiho has a very delayed natural base because he's going for the starport instead. We have a reactor on the way. Are we going for the battlecruiser? Or are we going for something else? This could be for a medevac. This could be the beginnings of like a Hellion drop. Show me. Show me what you got. As the Overlord is not going to be hunted down. RagnaroK does keep it alive here in between the bases. CC is thrown down. We're going for a Viking first. This feels like BC. But the Viking may be too obvious. You have my attention, GuMiho. You have my attention. The Viking is going to shut down that Overlord. That is going to keep RagnaroK in the dark. We're going into mine production. At the same time, RagnaroK is going 2-base Muta. Or he's going 2-base Spire. Spire? Sorry. God, I'm getting ahead of myself. 2-base Lair. Look, when I see a Lair on 2 bases, my brain thinks Spire. So my apologies. But he's going 2-base Lair. Additional gases are being taken. This is going to be Spire. My brain, it raced to the conclusion without showing my work. My apologies. But yeah, with all these gases being taken and with a Lair, it should be for Muta play. Meanwhile, GuMiho, this is going to be a very committed mine drop 4 Widow Mines with an armory as well. Detection is going to be required. This is very, very out of left field. Bailey Ness is on the way. We have a good queen count. I'm interested. Okay, it's still going to be a Spire. I was like, this could also be Nidus, but yeah, Spire is on the way for RagnaroK. Meanwhile, we have the drop diving into the main base. No detection yet, but we have an Overseer in production, so RagnaroK just happens to be ready for this. Mines do come in. How good are the shots? Up! Oh my god! Pretty good, not gonna lie. Every single Widow Mine is saved as well. 7 drones go down. And a queen. And the Widow Mines will be evacuated. Back at home. Oh, it's mech. We're going for a Thor drop? Is that what's happening? We have a Thor on the way. Oh my god! Quanta, is that you? Double Thor production. With +1 vehicle weapons. We have 1 medevac. We should be seeing a second medevac as well. Those wondering, you know, only a single Thor can fit in a medevac, and there we go. There's a second medevac. We're going for some Thor drops. Oh my god. I mean, it makes sense. The Spire wasn't even scouted, but the fast lair was, and the gases as well. So it looks like GuMiho, upon getting into the main base, he has correctly identified and deduced that it is going to be for mutas, and these Thors, they're not just going to be defensive, they can be offensive as well. This push may just end the game. What does RagnaroK have? He has 11 Lings and he has mutas. And what are they going to do against cloaked mines and Thors? The mines were repaired, by the way. And here we go. We're pushing. It's going to be about the queens. We have 8 queens, right? We have... Oh, no, never mind. We have 4 queens. Maybe if we force friendly fire. Maybe if the Widow Mines do friendly fire, maybe then RagnaroK can hold. But otherwise, the Thors are waddling into the natural base. They just send out their volleys against the mutas. There's no way in. The mines get unbarred, rebarred, making sure they don't waste their shots. Up. Every single muta is going to be going down. The Baileys, they do crash in. They take down the mines, but the Thors stand strong. And we are breaking the natural. Is this how it ends? We have Lings to reinforce. Up. RagnaroK, he's trying to hold on, but the Lings, they're running into Hellbats. They can't keep up. They can't do it. They cannot hold as GuMiho breaks the natural. He still hasn't gotten into the mineral line, to be fair. But we have more Hellions rallying across the map. GG gets called, and GuMiho takes the series 3-1, becoming this week's KSL champion. GG. Oh my god. What the hell did we just watch? We saw a failed proxy 2-rax going into a 1-1-1 into an armory-based Widow Mine drop into 2 factory Thors. The hell? Oh my god. GuMiho, you're in Hannibal. Stay away from the ladder. What are you doing? Why? What are you showing the Terran players in the chat? Keep the ladder safe. GG, well played. Congratulations to GuMiho for taking the series. And again, GuMiho, he's one of the more creative players out there. Very unorthodox. He usually goes for his own builds. I think he was able to showcase that quite a lot against Cyril in at ESL Masters and DreamHack Young Shipping. And even here as well, you can see that a lot of these builds that we saw from GuMiho today, no one else does them. Straight up, like Byun, Maru, Cure, even the NA Terrans out there on the ladder, they don't do that either. Like, this isn't really a lot of these builds are very unique to GuMiho, and because of that, it can be really difficult for his opponent to keep up because they're not used to it, they're not familiar with it. They don't play against it too often at all. So again, because of that, GuMiho, he has like that X factor. He has a surprise factor. On top of that, he obviously practices it quite a lot as well. GG, well played. Congratulations to GuMiho for becoming the KSL number 22 champion. GG. Oh. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. The Taltaran reigns supreme for this week. For every week, Papi. GuMiho showing me, GuMi showing me the true path. Oh. Stay away, no clone, stay away. GG, well played. Hope everyone enjoyed the tournament here today, enjoyed the broadcast. As we do switch our scenes over, we can have a look at the bracket itself. Oh, there we go. We can have a look at the bracket itself. And have a look at the run of these players. Again, as a reminder, the majority of the other top tier players like Dark and Hero and Classic and Maru and Bjorn, they're all in Saudi Arabia. They're all competing in Gamers 8 this weekend, and if you haven't tuned in yet, I highly recommend doing so. The production value is really cool, or really good. The casters, the players, like everything is of high quality, so recommend checking it out in a couple of hours. Gamers 8, I say a couple of hours, it starts in, the playoffs begin in 5 hours. 5 hours from now, Gamers 8 continues. And again, there's only 2 days left, I believe. Only 2 days left. So make sure you tune in. Meanwhile, in the absence of all those players, we saw RagnaroK and GuMiho do get out here in the finals, and GuMiho was able to come out on top. Congratulations. Congratulations again, GuMiho. He is a player deserving to be a part of Gamers 8 as well. Unfortunately, he just barely didn't make the cutoff. Just barely didn't make it out of those qualifiers. So yeah, GuMiho is going to have to settle for some KSL money instead. Meanwhile, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Thank you so much. We're going to be going on a break. I say a break. We're going to be ending the stream, but we're going to be coming back in 2 hours. So if you still aren't satiated, and if you want some company in the lead up to Gamers 8, if you want some more StarCraft, then we got you covered. The CranKy Ducklings, we're going to be live again. We're going to be live again in 2 hours with the Grand Platypus Open. If you're wondering, the hell is a Grand Platypus? I'm sure you can piece it together. It's a region-locked event. It's a region-locked bi-weekly tournament for the regions of Oceania, Southeast Asia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, Taiwan, a lot of the Asia regions, basically. So you get to see players like Oreo, Demi, Mio Micah, Go Joey, B-Stork, Honmono, who you saw earlier, Silky, who you saw earlier as well. Those players are typically featured in Grand Platypus Open China. China's also involved. So yeah, so if you're interested, we got you covered in 2 hours. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate the support. Oh, before I forget, we need to pay out the predictions. Oh, I can't forget, Bobby. Do need to pay out those predictions for the Gumi God himself. There you go. And yeah, with that, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate the support. If you want some more CranKy Duckling action, !socials in the chat. !socials. To follow us on all the social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, all that good stuff. Do I have a scene? Do I have a... Oh. I do. Oh god. Meanwhile, you can follow myself at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I'm social media somewhere. But yeah, you can follow me if you're interested. I do stream whenever I can throughout the week. But I am going to be putting a hold on my personal streams for Gamers 8, right? We're all watching, we're all tuning into Gamers 8. So yeah, we're going to be enjoying our time there. But next week I should be back with my personal streams. So I got you covered there. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before I forget, !KSL in the chat. If you want to support this very tournament, if you want to support the Korean Starcraft League, you can on Patreon. There is a Patreon for this tournament, and there's a lot of support already. And you know what? They can do with some more support as well. If you're interested in replay packs for the KSL, then they got you covered. They do give them out on a weekly basis. So yeah, shout out to Chicken Man and Dave Testa for making this tournament a reality and for supporting the Korean scene. Meanwhile, again, in 2 hours, we're hosting our own version of KSL, our own Patreon-funded community tournament, but for a different region. Dave Testa and Chicken Man, they've got it covered over for Korea. We're trying to cover the rest of Asia. So yeah, that's kind of our initiatives in the in the StarCraft community. So yeah, there we go. Together, we're covering everything. We're covering everything as much as we can. So yeah, with that, we'll see you guys in a couple of hours. I'm gonna take this moment to get some food. I haven't had breakfast yet, so food would be nice. Food would be good. And we'll see you guys in 2 hours for Grand Platypus Open. Until then, bye.